The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 5th day of December, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindos. I'm Jamel Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Folks, happy Tuesday to you. How's everyone doing out there today? I've been getting some feedback that my jokes are getting a bit better, right? So since I've been getting some good positive feedback about my jokes, I'm just going to go ahead and give you, I'm going to start it off with a nice joke of the day, all right? So, you didn't really ask for a joke today, did you? You didn't really ask for a joke, so I'm going to give you one anyway. All right, here we go. Here we go, audience. Let's get warmed up. It's Tuesday. Get your stretching and get the blood flowing with a good laugh. Here we go. Here's the question. What does Jack Frost like best about school? What does Jack Frost love best about school?
Snow days.
Well, thank you, Maya, for showing up. That's not it. My goodness, she just pops in and leaves and, Maya got it wrong. What does Jack Frost like best about school, folks? Nobody? Okay. I'll give you the answer since you're all a little boring today. You're all a little, uptight. Okay. Someone said frosted flakes. Someone said frostbites. Suzanne Hingham says, Maya, you are awesome, with the wrong answer. Well, it's not snow. Here's the answer, folks. What does Jack Frost like best about school? Wait for it. Snow and tell. Get it? Woo! Yeah. Get it? Show and tell, snow and tell. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. You all ain't with me this morning. You all ain't with me this morning. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Kimwana Eve from Lookie Lookie. She's discussing her pop-up shop, and I had someone tell me last night that they actually visited her pop-up, got some really nice local vendors there. So I'm looking forward to having this conversation. Hopefully we can get out and support her. The Daily Play is more holiday trivia today. Since I don't have a co-host, that means one of you all are going to be as lucky as Karen Simmons yesterday. Been a little something, all right? Do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. Well, thank you for the laugh, Hedley. Thank you, Suzanne. And Cherie, we're working on you. We are working on you. Karen Simmons. Yes, that's right. Snow and tell. Yeah, I thought my jokes were getting better. Some people are just harder to please. I know who I'm inviting to my first comedy stand-up, and I know who I'm not inviting. That's that. Maya's not invited if you ask her. No, she's not invited. She doesn't know how to laugh at my jokes. All right, so we've got a conversation to have, as always. But before we get into today's discussion, I just want to encourage everyone who's tuned in right now. Do one favor. It costs you absolutely nothing. Please like this post wherever you're watching. If you're on Twitter, like and retweet. If you're on Facebook, just like it and share it. If you're on YouTube, like it and share it to your WhatsApp friends. Very easy. Very easy. Doesn't cost you anything. Just maybe a muscle in your finger. All right, so folks, in the Royal Gazette this weekend, there was a letter to the editor. And the letter to the editor was titled Helpless in Dockyard. All right? In this letter to the editor, Helpless in Dockyard, someone wrote, "Dear Sir, now that I have been retired for a number of years, I catch the ferries leaving from Dockyard every week. And today, Sunday, November 26th, I was waiting to catch the 9:45 a.m. ferry into Hamilton. There was a cruise ship that came in at 8:30 a.m. with more than 3,000 passengers, and the visitor service center does not open until 10 a.m. on Sundays. Tourists were not able to buy tokens, passes, get maps, and also there was no one from the Bermuda Tourism Authority to provide information. Hello, I have seen this happen before. It's not the first time. I know that you can pay $5 cash per person on the ferry, but the ferry personnel don't give change, and rightly so. If you don't have the money, you cannot get on the ferry. Does anyone from the BTA know that the 2023 Bermuda cruise ship schedule? Let me answer that. No. Does anyone from the BTA know that a lot of these cruise ship passengers have never been here before? I meet a lot of tourists who have never been to Bermuda. And just today, I met two different couples off the cruise ship who are here for the first time. The BTA is very fortunate that myself and a few other Bermudians are saving its you-know-what in Dockyard and on the ferries, giving out information to many tourists every week. I think that they should be paying me. It would be money well spent. When a cruise ship is in port in Dockyard on a Sunday, the visitor service center needs to be opened a lot earlier than 10 a.m. Where is the tourism minister anyway? Well, I'm glad you should ask. Let me go on Twitter and tell you what the tourism minister's response to this was. Give me a second. All right. The tourism minister, who is now the Honorable Owen Darrell, he did respond on Twitter. And his response was, stories like these are hard to hear, but it's important to know ways in which we can improve our tourism product for future visitors. Issues like these are being addressed. Tough criticisms are necessary when they lead to positive change. That seems like more words for me. But audience, you've just heard what I shared. You've just heard what I shared. Bermuda has had a problem for ages, right? Of stores closing and people feeling there's nothing to do or cater to tourists. I'm just going to ask you something very, very simple, though. Omar James, who's very outspoken and he's done a lot of work on YouTube, just went to Japan and he said just the little things that count that they did over there. Little things that matter. And we need to figure out as a destination how we can overcome the little things impacting our tourism growth. That's the question of the morning. How can we overcome the little things impacting our tourism growth? What can we do? Because I tell you what, I was that kid in school when the teacher would say, first impressions matter. I would always respond, but you said not to judge a book by its cover. I was that guy. The truth of the matter is, folks, first impressions really do matter. I once got off a cruise when I was a young man, I was still in my teens. I went on a cruise, and the island we visited was Martinique. And in my ignorance, I didn't know that they spoke French in Martinique. And I really liked something in a store and got frustrated because didn't know English and couldn't respond to me in English, and left. And basically, my mother told me, go back, get on the boat, because of my own ignorance, expecting them to understand me and communicate with me in the language. My first impression, I never wanted to go back Martinique again. First impressions matter. And I know that the Bermuda Tourism Authority, they continuously put out press releases. They say what they're doing, working on. They had a summit last week to make believers of those who were in attendance, blah, blah, blah. But this is something very simple. But let's be honest with ourselves, Bermuda. This isn't all on the Bermuda Tourism Authority. It's on us too. You see, we have a tendency. We have a tendency to complain. We have a tendency to moan about things not being open. But then we must ask ourselves, are we going to be willing to work those hours? Are we going to be the ones willing to wake up and go to work at 8 a.m.? We have a problem. So as much I understand the frustration of people, and I'm just going to share it on the screen for people who don't know what we're talking about this morning, but we're talking about the letter to the editor this weekend. Basically, the short version, it's from the Royal Gazette. The short version is that there were some tourists, a cruise ship came in, a cruise ship came in, right? And basically the Visitor Services Center, the VIC, was not open. The cruise came in at 8:30, right? 8:30 with 3,000 passengers, right? And the VIC doesn't open till 10 a.m. Because of that, tourists were not able to buy tokens, passes got matched. Now, there are some people who will say, we're not serious about tourism. Like, how can we be serious about tourism if we have the people, but we're not serving the people? If we're serious about tourism, we need to be serious about service. And I am grateful and thankful because we get asked all the time, what is Bermuda's greatest asset? And everyone says it's people. And thankfully, there were people who were on the ferry, Bermudians, who were helping these people. But we need to ask ourselves, are we serious about tourism? Are we serious about tourism? Do we really, really want tourism? Thank you, Derek Medeiros, for writing this, and thank you to the Royal Gazette for printing it. But that's the question, like folks, these are the little things. These are the little things. We need to ask ourselves, are we serious about tourism? I'm going to take a quick break. Gather your thoughts, share your thoughts. How can we overcome the little things impacting our growth as a tourism destination? Let us know. We'll be right back after this quick break, but give it some thought. Let us know. We need to find some solutions to this because we're already struggling to get people to Bermuda. We're already struggling. All we need is these folks to go back and say, oh, don't go to Bermuda. They're not here to serve us. We have to wait on them.
In over 30 years, Mailboxes has brought in millions of packages. That's a lot of packages. We started way back in 1990.
Ship a boombox. Well, okay, sure, we can do that. Check you later.
And ever since,
Alrighty, welcome back. Thanks again to the BAC Group, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Again, the question of the morning is, how can we overcome the little things impacting our tourism growth? And the Minister, Owen Darrell, he did respond. He said, stories like these are hard to hear, but it's important to know ways in which we can improve our tourism product for future visitors. Issues like these are being addressed. Tough criticisms are necessary when they lead to positive change. Well, Michelle White says, I would have expected a response to say, noted, and let's talk about your suggestion. Mia Hartman, you're going to have to break that up, but she says the amount of folks that I hear complain about longer hours and weekends and holidays, come do my job for a month, 12 to 9, 4 days a week, and 12 to 10, 1 day a week, 10 to 5. I work 6 days a week. When do I get time for myself? She says, when I do get to shop, some would say you chose this job. My hours have been changed because it's slow season. So the part-time staff hours have been cut and I have to do the strange hours now. What about the locals? They want Sunday shopping, but only come in to browse. So she works in retail in the tourism sector, basically, and she's saying that, people complain about things not being open, but are they willing to work and do the jobs? And again, that's a come to moment for all of us, right? We have to decide as a collective, do we want to be in the tourism space? And if we do want to be in the tourism space, we've got to ask ourselves, are we willing to make the sacrifices needed? Charles H. Jefferson II, he says, I will add that this isn't much better when arriving by air, where one can wait 30 plus minutes for their bags and then struggle to find a taxi who takes credit cards. This may seem inconsequential to some. This is true. And thank you for that, Charles. This isn't just about cruise ship passengers who people feel like, well, they don't spend any money anyway. This is about the overall experience for Bermuda. I used to have complaints. Mind you, I don't see it this way anymore. Some others do. I remember working in tourism, and I just used to feel like Bermuda is one unfriendly place to arrive. Customs were always looking angry and mad to do their job. I've seen a change. I have. I don't experience that anymore. It was tough. And then, bags. Like, Bermuda's not busy enough of an airport for people's bags to be like that, to take so long. Sheikha Rana says, in the past, early weekend hours at BIC were covered by seniors, retirees, as they were more dependable. Maybe we can get back to that. Are there still seniors available? Are people still available? It's about availability as well, right? But can we get back to that? That's something that the Bermuda Tourism Authority may have to answer for us. I can't answer that. Suzanne Ingham says tourism service must be in place to serve our guests. They do not have to come here. We want tourism to boom. Then be the service that is required. If more employees are needed, then provide it. Sean DeShield says digitizing ferry token purchases would resolve the problem. Similar to how taking trains and buses in the UK, why are ferry tokens still required? I don't disagree with you, Sean, but we're not there yet, right? We're not there. We're legit still waiting. We're still waiting on the digitization of it. And that's been for some time now, right? That's been for some time. Audience, what are your thoughts? I mean, these are serious issues. But it's not all on the government. It's not all on the BTA. And it's not all on the general public. It's on all of us. This is on all of us. We've got to figure out if we're serious about tourism. What cannot happen is we cannot continue to spiral downward like we are. We can't have these big fancy tourism summits. And this is the result. This is what we're doing. This is not good. Mia Hartman says, not only provide more staff, pay the staff decent wages, overtime, and better health benefits. Mind you, I get decent benefits. What about the expats? They're tired as well. Charles H. Jefferson II, he says, if we're going to be a luxury destination, don't make sense to throw up her yogurt this morning. But he says, if we're going to be a luxury destination, we need to ensure that the experience is optimal from the time they arrive until they leave. Try taking an early morning flight from LFW, not optimal. Isabella Hall says, solutions seem to be elusive throughout all of Bermuda's economic issues. And she's right. And that's why I take such great pride, Isabella, in doing this show. Because I would, us having these conversations on a morning like today, or any morning, the focus is solutions. I believe collectively we have the solutions. Chicarena, can we revisit what used to happen, the retirees? I don't know what's in the BTA contracts. Can we get some of the full-time staff at the BTA to go there and work for 2 hours, rotate until the staffers come on at 10? It's going to take collective sacrifice. Bermuda cannot afford to take days off in tourism. That's the reality. We need all hands on deck. As a destination, Bermuda is struggling. We need to ask ourselves how serious we are about tourism. And if we are serious about tourism, we have got to start acting and performing differently. I don't know what to say. Michelle White says, this is another business opportunity for interested persons to fill the gap. Have to work out how to get paid, but if willing, put your hand up. Yeah, it could be an entrepreneurial opportunity. Absolutely, fill that gap. Sean DeShield says, Bermuda is definitely not serious anymore about tourism growth. There's such dysfunctional leadership, lacking wisdom, vision, and integrity. Suzanne Ingham says, amen, Jamel. Folks, do me a favor. I asked you early on in the show. I want to go back to Isabella Hall's comment. She said, solutions seem to be elusive. You know how we can get to a space where we start speaking about solutions more and we start to have honest conversations about where we are? We have to make sure more people are a part of these conversations. The way we can do that, share these conversations, like these conversations, love these conversations, send them to your WhatsApp friends, retweet it or react it or repost it, whatever they say now. Share it on Facebook, take the link and put it on your Instagram stories. I said yesterday on Twitter, right? X. Look, whatever Elon calls it, I'm stuck on. I'm like the old school people. But I said yesterday, and I just want to say this before we bring Maya in for the Daily Hour news break, that the goal of this show is to ensure that no Bermudian has an excuse to not know better as long as it exists. As long as this show exists, we will have no excuses not to know and do better. And I mean that. I mean it. because this show is about all of us brainstorming every morning to find solutions to the things that are impacting our community. Manuela John says, in this instance, if this was not a surprise visit, staff should have been designated to man the post. Effective supervision. I don't disagree. Charles H. Jefferson II says, it sounds like the gentleman who wrote the letter was willing to do the job. I would hire him first. Oh, he's retiree. He was there and he did it. Shigarena says, there also used to be tourism ambassadors in dockyards speaking to guests in line for the ferry seniors / retirees. Maybe they still are. I don't know their hours. BIC didn't rehire the seniors. Maybe we can get the BTA to respond to this. I mean, as far as I know, that was written on Saturday's paper. I have not seen anything. I don't know if Maya has anything come from the Bermuda Tourism Authority. All I saw was the response from the Minister of Tourism, Owen Darrell, which I shared with you earlier. And then Renee Simmons says, tourism is dying. If we don't get a real product, then forget about it, because all of these incidents simply a lack of interest in the industry. If no improvement, then Bermuda is lost in the triangle. I see what you did there. And then we'll just say, Isabella Hall says, I have a retired husband. I can offer for an 8 a.m. start. She's offering her husband, folks. We have someone who can do the job. All right, folks. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Maya in for the Daily Hour news break. And after the Daily Hour news break, we will have Kimwana Eve on from the Lookie Lookie pop-up, folks. So you don't want to miss that. All right, stick with us. Time for the Daily Hour news break. I wonder if Maya's got any ideas. I wonder if she'll go up there at 8 a.m. and help some tourists out. Yeah, maybe she got some video of them and ask them how they feel. Yeah, we'll talk to her about it. Stick with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. How are you?
I'm pretty good this morning. I hear the conversation going on. How are you?
I'm cool, man. You know, I'm just wondering if we're serious about tourism, MP. I don't get it. You know, we can be our worst enemy, man.
I think that can be said about a lot of things, Jamal, but I do want to add in with a little bit of insight that I actually just looked at, because while we're having this conversation about tourism in Bermuda, there was a press release that was actually put out yesterday. And just a quick insert from it, it says that the audience also gained valuable insight, and this is about the tourism summit that recently happened. It said the audience also gained valuable insight from the panel discussion. In 2024, air capacity is set to grow by 20%. They say April and May will see a milestone as Bermuda's air capacity exceeds the 2019 levels for the first time since the pandemic began. And Bermuda Air is now in operation, and airlines like JetBlue, United, and American Airlines are expanding their services to meet demand. And closing off, they said more routes are now served to Bermuda than the pre-pandemic as well.
Yeah, I saw that. And my hope, Maya, is more flights will likely equate to more people, even though we're still down to 75% of rooms due to the Fairmont Southampton not being open as far as 2019.
Yes.
But if we're going to have more flights and more people, we need to ensure that we have the people who want to service them, right? Again, this is a collective problem. And Maya, let me just share this, because not many people know this about me, but I think you all learn something new about me regularly. But I've been that person when I was working at Onion Jacks when it was on Front Street, as a second and third job summers when I would go back to Bermuda during college. And I was working those crazy hours to make money to go back to school. I've worked in tourist stores. I worked in hotels. I've been a kitchen porter. I have worked crazy hours when my friends are out at Playhouse and like going out to parties and stuff. That was not me. I was always had goals and so on. So I believe there are people who are willing to do it. I think we just have to reach them.
It's not an impossible ask, truly, just to have it at 8 a.m. start. No, it's not an impossible ask at all. And hopefully from either the show or discussion as well, and from the letter to the editor, definitely maybe some changes will occur from it and come out of that.
We hope so, Maya. What you got in your news break today?
Well, good morning. Good morning. This is the Daily Hour Newsbreak brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Starting off the news this morning with some not good news at all because a 39-year-old man was found by the police with multiple stab wounds. Around 1:05 a.m. on Saturday, December the 2nd, police were dispatched to a residence on East Shore Road, Sands Parish, following a report of a male prowler. Upon arrival at the location, officers found a 39-year-old male with multiple stabs. He was conscious and breathing. Emergency services were immediately notified. EMTs attended and conveyed the injured man via ambulance to the hospital, where at last check, he continued to receive treatment for his injuries. It is believed that the victim may have sustained his injuries at another location and was seeking to avoid his attackers when he was seen by residents of East Shore Road who thought he was a prowler and called the police. So this matter is now under investigation, and anyone with information is asked to contact Constable Timothy Harvey at 717 0880, or again, you can speak with an officer that you know and trust as well.
That's unfortunate and crazy. So just so I understand, Maya, so the person who was injured was the prowler?
That is not known right now.
Right, that's
They
okay.
say that, yeah, that's not known right now. They followed a report of a male prowler, and from at the scene, they said that, maybe residents thought he was the prowler, the person who had the multiple stab wounds, and they called police.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So at
Hopefully-
present, they don't believe that he is the prowler. They think that someone may have thought he was and called.
Hopefully the person makes a speedy recovery. Never want to hear these stories. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Now, in other news, let's talk about COP28 a little bit more. I had the honor of speaking with 6 of the Bermudians who were actually currently in Dubai. Now, COP28, just to get some perspective in your brains, it's 97,000 people who attend that event. So it's much larger than Bermuda. And in Bermuda, we have a team of 6. You could add additional 2 if you want to count the premier and the deputy premier as well, but they are not a part of this group. And only one of the members there is female. So let's hear from Noel Young about why that is.
There were several females that I invited as well. They were very interested in attending. However, they just could not get the funding. And also when it comes to, females traveling abroad, especially young females or those within, the ages of, let's say, 25 to 35, they often have family commitments, whether it be caring for an elderly relative or caring for a child. Many of them just couldn't leave those commitments. It was not physically possible. So it's just kind of a gender demographic that I want to point out, is that, these kinds of initiatives can be a lot harder for females to get into, as you can see, as I am one.
That actually highlights a bigger problem in this, our society, right? That's deep.
Yeah, I was very grateful for her to actually bring up that statistic of the demographic, because I'll be honest, when I first was reading it, obviously we knew it was her first, and her being the first female delegate from Bermuda, and then she brought on Malachi and Zayn, and now 3 others with her able to go out there. So I actually bring up the demographic some more. The team has a strong mix in age groups though, and the youngest on the team, I believe, is Isaiah, and he's 17 years old. And I asked Isaiah if he felt like education was being passed down to him in the need for sustainable practices in Bermuda. So talking about that intergenerational communication that we spoke about before on the show. And here's what he had to say.
I feel it's lacking, or a niche point, simply because me, my fellow peers, I don't think we would even be talking about this if we was just to stay at school with just casual day-to-day lives. Like I had to physically go and seek out like YCS to even be involved in this conversation. The generation.
Wow. So and Maya, just for the audience, there's no live Daily Hour show this Friday, but you are going to, in place of the live show, we are going to play that full conversation with him, correct?
Yes, we will. And here's just the last one I think will be most interest to everyone out here watching the show this morning. So I'm just going to straight play it. It's about the funding that they have received. So let's listen in.
So at this point in time, I'd say that we have successfully fundraised, as well as with our own savings, about $25,000. That doesn't quite meet our $50,000 goal. But either way, the point is that we're all here. And also, I'll just state that we are very appreciative of the Bridging the Gap Ventures, which is the organization that hosts Younga, as they actually enabled 2 of our delegates to come up here, and they were not fully paid for yet. They still aren't fully paid for. I know at some point we are all, planning to pay persons back that we have borrowed money for.
Premiers out there and the deputy premier as well are out there. I know you guys have seen them and met with them. I saw a couple of pictures. So I guess in your own words, if anyone wants to speak to this, like, how does it feel to have the premier and the deputy out there as well, representing Bermuda alongside you guys? And also, if you're able to give me the answer to whether or not, because I know you talked about your funding as well, are you deliberately not trying to get funding from government to make this like independently your own, or have they just not given you guys any funds to be there? So there's that, and you'll definitely get the answers on Friday.
I want to know that answer. But you know what? It makes me think of a song, right? Because every generation has their fights. They have their battles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am actually very proud of those young people, because this is something that most Bermudians walking the street daily would not even think about, right?
Yeah.
But it's something in the song. I don't know if you know this song, Maya. It's by Mike and the Mechanics, right? And I've been thinking about it since Malachi's situation. And the song begins like this. I'm not going to sing it. You all are not paying for that. But it says every generation
blames the one before.
Blames the one before. And all of their frustrations come beating on your door. I'm going to say this in the most respectful way. They have every right to blame the generation before. But they're not just sitting around and complaining and blaming. They're actually trying to be self-sufficient in going and gaining the wisdom needed to fix the issues that they believe we're now facing because of the generation before. I want people to hold on to that.
Well, yeah, definitely. It was an engaging conversation, to say the least. So you're going to want to definitely tap in on Friday tonight, listen to it all, because they talked about that as well. Generations before. Isaiah had me shook, actually, because I realized, hold up, every generation you might count as like 10 years. And like, I'm the generation before Isaiah. And he was like talking about how we aren't communicating enough. And I'm just like, okay, I heard that. So, you are.
You got no, man. You're going to be who they're talking about soon.
Moving on to the next set of news this morning. So Ben Smith has been voted as the new deputy leader of the One Bermuda Alliance during its annual conference. So during the night, he said, quote, "First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone who voted for me this evening. I faced a tough opponent in MP Jackson and would like to say a job well done to her. I am looking to working with the leader as we build the party from strength to strength, and most importantly, build a better Bermuda for all." Now, he ran against MP Susan Jackson for the position after there was a vacant for the now party leader, who is the Honorable Jarian Richardson, JPMP, who won because he was untested as well. So he just immediately got the seat.
I still would have preferred Susan Jackson, but congratulations to MP Ben Smith.
All right. And in some follow-up stories that I did actually last week about marriage, just to bring those statistics up to you guys, because I put it on Media Maya as well. I posed the question. So here it is right here, so you guys can see it. But how important is marriage to you? And those are the statistics that you see before you. So 57% said, I want to get married. 12% said, I do not want to get married. And 31% said, I haven't decided. Now, going into the side there, you could kind of break it down even more, just the number of votes that were put in. And so out of the 42 votes on the I want to get married, I went through from the profiles, it appeared that 8 of the responses were from men who said that they wanted to get married.
No comment.
And finally, I'm going to close out with the sports. If you didn't notice yesterday, I put out a video about just the format of our women's football team right now. Today, they are going to be playing Dominican Republic, and it is a big game for our women Gombe Warriors. So let's just look into this. Is a short bit of it. You go watch the full clip on all my platforms to see where we're at right now. But let's take a look. So the Bermuda national women's football team is heading into their final match that will determine whether they qualify for the playoffs in the first ever Women's CONCACAF Gold Cup. Now, currently, we're at the end of the September to November window where there are 3 leagues, League A, League B, and League C. But since League C doesn't earn a place in the Gold Cup, we're going to talk about League A and League B. The 3 group winners from League A will qualify for the 2024 Women's Gold Cup. The 3 second-place teams from League A will advance to the playoffs. And the 3 group winners from League B will also advance to the playoffs. And that is where Bermuda sits. As of December 4th, sitting on top of Group C in League B is none other then Bermuda, who behind the coaching of Nikita Robinson has been undefeated. So let's take a look at their record. On their first game, they won 2-0 against Dominican Republic with 2 goals coming off the foot of Jaden Master. The second match was saw a 4-0 win against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 1 goal came from the selected captain Ava Fozzoni, which was also the Bermuda's 100th goal for the women's national team. Then 1 came from Carla Brinkman and 2 off the foot of Jaya Rattery-Smith. Their third.
Alrighty, and if you want to see the full video, go to Media Maya _.
Yes, at Media Maya _ on my social channels.
Yeah, check her out. And again, I'm just going to say it. Thank you for doing what you do, Maya. Folks, you see 2 minutes of video that takes much longer to put together for you. So I appreciate you doing that. Again, all the best to the young ladies who are participating for Bermuda, who are playing for Bermuda, and let's bring home the cheese. Let's do it.
They just need a win or draw this game, and I am on edge. Just put it that way, y'all.
You go Gold Cup. Maya and I is traveling to come see you. So.
Definitely. I would love to be out there for our team. But in the weather today, we're looking at early clouds and showers, rapidly improving mid-morning, which is good to know. And still a little bit of, possible gale force winds, though, among the showering periods. But we have a high of 73 degrees. So just be wary, if you're on a bike, once again, take your time, be slow, bring your raincoats. Don't be like me. So, yeah.
All righty. Well, it's Days of the Year time, Maya. So, today is actually World Soil Day. World Soil Day. And I guess, without soil, we really don't have a healthy earth, right? Soil is important for so many reasons. This day has been recognized for quite a while. 2002, December 5th, a resolution was proposed to actually celebrate it. But how do you celebrate World Soil Day? Honestly, just get educated about soil. The best way to celebrate it is do exactly what scientists the world over are so badly need. They need to be educated. An enormous amount of damage is done to the planet every year, not due to ill will, but to ignorance. This is because the average people simply do not know enough about the earth when they are causing damage to it. Sometimes damage that cannot be repaired. I would say this much. Of course, it was a Rastaman. He said to me many, many years ago when I was young, and he was making this correlation between brown black people and soil. He said the black man is the most important to the world, just like soil. Without it, we have no growth or foundation. All I'm saying is it would do us well to understand the importance of what soil does for all of us. Maya, you have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, we'll see Maya later, folks. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. Don't worry. Hopefully, Kimwana's not opening the store too early. Hopefully, she's on BTA, Visit Information Center hours, so that we can extend the conversation because we're a bit behind. So stick with us. Pop-up coming up. And you know what? I'm going to do a giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway since I don't have a co-host today. So somebody's going to win a little something from us. All right? Stick with us. We'll be back after this break.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
When it comes to footwear, we carry functional, comfortable, orthopedic and waterproof shoes. We have construction shoes, golf shoes, shoes for walking, shoes for boating. We even have shoes for pickleball. We have shoes for everyone. With brands by Skechers, Atrax, Propay, Easy Street, Nursemates, Clogs, Avenger, Cherokee, Cat, Frog Talks and DeWalt. The list goes on.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. your chicken nuggets would be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest of the day. It's our second time around, so not a stranger. Let's bring on, well, let's give a warm TDH welcome to Kimwana E from Lookie Lookie. Oops, that's not the right one. There we go. She was laughing at my joke from earlier. Greetings, madam. How are you?
Good morning, Jamal. I'm well.
Well, welcome to the show. Now, real quickly, Lookie Lookie. I know we'll get into the pop-up, but are your hours more like BTA, VIC hours, or are they like more like this is Christmas holiday hours?
This is Christmas holiday hours. We're
Okay,
open
cool.
7 days a week, 10 to 6 on most days. Late night shopping, Sundays. We're here.
Okay, all right. So, folks, and it's interesting. I asked that because someone I know who works in retail in Bermuda. I was speaking to them the other day, and they said they were working Sunday. I was like, "Oh, the store's open Sunday." It's just like holiday time. Why do I say that? Just getting back to the conversation earlier. We have people that will work these hours, so it's possible. But Kimwana, let's get into the conversation with you. Obviously, you've been on her before. Everyone was a fan of what you're doing with Lookie Lookie. Just remind people of what Lookie Lookie actually is.
So I like to say Lookie Lookie is a plug for all things small business. So we are a 3-part solution for both the entrepreneur and the consumer. We have a website where that's a directory platform where businesses can showcase their contact information, the things that they offer. Then we have our shopping experience, and that is in the form of a pop-up. And this is our first pop-up. So this is what we're doing now. And another part to Lookie Lookie is I like to call them workshops or training for the entrepreneur to kind of improve on the small branding and marketing things that they can do to help enhance their product. So these are the 3 things that Lookie Lookie offers.
So you mentioned the pop-up, like, I saw this very detailed email and I was like, wow, she's making moves, like just doing a thing. Speak to us, like tell us a bit about the pop-up right now and what people can expect.
Okay, so just briefly how the pop-up came about. I launched Lookie Lookie February 2022, and I knew that I wanted to figure out a way to help small businesses because for myself, a mother of 3, I'm busy. I was never able to find what I was looking for. So that's how the initial problem started. But I would go to markets, and markets have their place, but there's Blue Easy Ups, plastic tablecloths gave me anxiety. And I was like, our businesses have so much to offer, but they just didn't have the right means to be showcased. So I said, you know what, next Christmas, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna offer a pop-up. And I reached out to BEDC. They have been a great sponsor for all of this. I reached out, I said, I need help. I didn't have all the money, but I have the willpower, I have the vision, I have a plan. So let's do it. So maybe July, I reached out to a bunch of small businesses and I said, hey, Christmas time, I want to do a pop-up. About 60% of them got it the first time, and they're just like, perfect, I'm on board because I work, I have other obligations, this will work. And one of the biggest selling points in the pop-up is that they don't have to be here. So I would sell and promote on their behalf. So as time drew near, I reached out with more emails. They all came on board. November, Thanksgiving, November 23rd, that's when we launched the pop-up. So we're doing 7 days a week, 10 to 6 on weekdays. We're here for late night shopping on Friday nights. We're here on Sundays from 1 to 5. and the response has been overwhelming. It's been excellent.
So what kind of vendors and products and like do you have in there?
So we have over 30 vendors in here. We have things from umami spice, we have loquat roots, we have quench, we have virgin magnolia, we have candle sensations, we have de rosea, we have sticky corn, tea gumbe isle, Bermuda Fudge Company, the custom rug guide, Queendom Heights, Lisa Rigo, beaded bracelets, king lime jewels, charming keys, Zen crystals, little reds, rich designs, casual footwear, Jamie Madison, faithful fragrance, A-list designs, Reese and Rhea, has a tween clothing line, and then we have some things like custom leather, Fudge Sisters who make yummy fudge sickles, Easel Studio. I'm just looking around to make sure I got mostly everyone. Yeah.
But if you didn't, don't blame your head, not your heart. But I love this idea. And audience, if you have any questions or comments for Kimwana, please send them through. So you said when you're open, if this is successful, I know it's a pop-up. If this is reach the heights that you would like to or exceeds expectations, what are the chances that you would continue or do something like this? Not just around the holidays, but again, maybe not full time, but maybe at the end of winter, beginning of spring, something like that. What's your overall goal with it in terms of moving on from this?
Because I believe in the power of small business. Actually, I know how powerful they are. Earlier you mentioned tourism and how the VIC wasn't open. But when you deal with entrepreneurs, it's a different type of energy because it's theirs and it comes from a different place. It's not a boss that got to check in, clock in, all of that. So the energy is so good. This is going to be something more permanent. Summertime, you will see us on a larger scale. Mark my words. The response is needed. It's needed. People are tired of wanting to support people, but they gotta get a parking spot, run down below their job, step out, be at a market. They don't take card. All of these sorts of things are avoided with this. It makes too much sense not to continue. So I will be closing this pop-up Christmas Eve, but we will be back out. And every time we will be better because I collect data. I find out what people's looking for. I see what works, or how we can improve. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing more. People can send me a DM on Instagram or email me at info@heylookielookie.com if they want to be a part. Like I said, I reached out to a lot of vendors. Some didn't jump on, and some are showing up now to be like, hey, how can I join? Depending on what they offer, I have let some join and some can't because I just simply don't have the space. But we're going to be definitely doing something on a bigger scale.
I'm sorry, it was me. It was me. I'm sorry. You can hear me now.
Yeah.
I think it's a great initiative. I think it's brilliant. I think that what you're doing, Craig Simmons, I believe, said that small business is the backbone of our community. And giving people the opportunity to make a living and providing products and services that people want is something that is second to none. Traveling Trotty actually says it here. This is a great initiative. One shop shopping for the customer. Brilliant. Just remind people, I know you said you're 7 days a week, Sundays, 11 to 5. What's the best way to contact you and experience this pop-up until Christmas Eve?
So We're inside the Washington Mall downstairs, right across from the English Market. We're here every day. They can call 735-LOOK if they want to ask about something specific. They can email at info@heylookielookie.com. They can go to our website, which is heylookielookie.com. On the website, you will find all the vendors who are here in the pop-up. If you want to get more information, see what things that they're selling. But the best experience is to come in, look around. We have a ton of Christmas gifts. I kind of take the guesswork out because I know for myself, Christmas comes, you want to buy things, but you're like, what do I get? I don't have time to think about it. So you come here, we have over 7 different gift baskets from all the different vendors. You just have your price point, and there you go.
I love it, Kimwana. Thank you for doing this. I think I speak for many. And please don't go anywhere, because I want to communicate with you after about what we can do to help push this until the end for you. But thank you. Someone asking where's your location, but you kind of just said it, unless you want to repeat it one more time.
The Washington Mall downstairs near the English Market.
All right. Washington Mall downstairs near the English Market, folks. Kimwana, again, one more time, remind people of your website and Instagram handles.
So the website is heylookielookie.com. That's LOOKIE twice. Instagram is Hey Lookie Lookie. Facebook is Hey Lookie Lookie. But before I go, I just want to shout out to my sponsors really quickly. BEDC has been amazing. Flowers by Jimmy, they have provided us with some great decor in store. Cell One for their Wi-Fi. Sorry, I keep calling them Cell One. One Communications. Gosling's coming in a few days, and they do festive drink tasting. And we also offer Hannah in store. If they follow us on Instagram, they will see a calendar, and on the calendar shows you what's happening in store each day. So we have a mini photo booth, so you could come in and get Christmas photos with your family. That's on Saturdays and Sundays. We have Hannah on Thursdays, and we do customized gifts on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations, all the best, and we'll definitely be in touch with you soon.
Yes, thank you, Jamal.
All right, no problem. Kimwana, you folks, if you appreciated the conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. If you have a couple dollars to spend for Christmas, if you want to get me a gift, I mean, I don't need anything, but I know, if you're feeling generous, head on down to the pop-up. Go check it out. You don't need to know my sizes. They have things that don't require that. Do not go anywhere. I have a giveaway for someone, though. Do not go anywhere. Whoever gets the first person to get the answer correctly that shows on my screen, we're going to give you a little prize today. Well, not a little one, but we'll give you a prize. So don't go anywhere. Stick with us.
Hi, welcome to ER Fisheries. I'm Jalen Steed, store manager and trained chef, and I'm here to help you with all of your food needs. Let's talk about why you should come and check out ER Fisheries. We offer the widest range of specialty meats and seafood items at a price point that will absolutely fit your budget. As a chef, I'm able to answer all of your food questions, help you come up with meal ideas, and generally guide you in the right direction. You'll get a custom shopping experience unlike any other food store in Bermuda, where we'll cater to your needs and provide you with excellent customer service. Where else can you get quality cooking advice and quality products? I look forward to helping you with all your meal ideas.
All right. Thanks again to Kimwana E from Lookie Lookie, and our sponsors and partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Office Windows, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we were to do this with you on a daily basis. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you like, love, and share this conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia. Folks, Volume 2 of Bermuda Trivia is now, in fact, there are 5 different editions of Bermuda Trivia in stores right now. Volume 1, Volume 2, the Holiday Edition, I believe the Cup Match Edition, and there's a Visitors Edition. So there are 5 different editions. If you don't have Bermuda Trivia, there's no excuse. You should have at least one edition that is available. All right, it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, and all available at Stores or Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Here we go. Here's the question. And the first person who gets it right on my screen, again, what shows up first on my screen, will be the winner of a $25 gift voucher to Lindo's. Here we go. Holiday trivia. What real estate tycoon appeared as himself in Home Alone 2? All right, so we're gonna have some democracy here, folks. We're gonna have some democracy. This is gonna be a vote. Rosalind Famous came up on the screen first and said Donald Yump. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Then she put Trump. Does Rosalind Famous get it? Or I don't know what cousin Mark Arthur C. Phillips was thinking, but I don't think Sir John was on Home Alone 2. So audience, yes or no? Do we give it to Rosalind Famous? Yes or no? You know, we vote on this show. Do we give it to Rosalind Famous? Okay, we have one yes going to Rosalind from Traveling Trotty. We've got yes from Mark R.C. Phillips. We've got yes. The Mark, yes. So we've got yes. We've got a lot of yeah. So here's the thing. I actually thought Rosalind was being rude to you all's former president. I thought she did it on purpose and was teasing. Oh boy, because you notice some people don't respect them. They like call them like names and so on. So, and you know, some people don't just put initials DJT and 45. And I get it. But who was next on the list? Charles hasn't voted. Who was next on the list? Next on the list with the right answer would have been Stacey Brown. She came up next. So that's who was next on the list. But congratulations to Rosalind Famous. And thank you everyone, as she states, for giving us a chance and always, supporting what it is we do. Again, I just ask you for one more favor. Make sure you're subscribed on our website. Make sure you like and share each and every episode, even if it's just WhatsApp. Just share it. Rosalind Famous, please send an email today, engage@thedailyhour.com. We'll get you your winnings. But it's time for the Daily Inspiration, brought to you by our friends at ER Fisheries and Foods. And we're going to go to Booker T. Washington today. Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington says, I have learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. That's your Daily Inspiration, brought to you by ER Fisheries. Booker T, one of the great Black businessmen in the South, in the United States. Unfortunately, folks, it's that time. Thank you, Suzanne Ingham. She says, you have an awesome show every day, Janelle. Thank you. I appreciate it. Charles is so silly. He needed to know who he was voting against if he voted for Rosalind. Well, folks, it's that time. Please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we will be back to do this again with you tomorrow I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.